For sure, Rick. Yes, global bond rally, maybe for different reasons in different places. Joining us now, Douglas Holtz-Eakin, former CEA chief economist and American Action Forum president, and Bharat Ramamurti, former NEC Deputy Director. Good morning to you both. Bharat, you know, it's funny, a year ago, the phrase immaculate disinflation was probably said mostly with derision. It seemed like such a long shot. Today, I don't know, it seems kind of descriptive of what we've gotten. The labor market hanging in there, inflation coming down toward target. Can it possibly continue, I guess, is the big question going into next year?
Yeah, I absolutely think it can. As you noted, we ended last year with the unemployment rate at 3.5%. And inflation substantially higher than the Fed's target. And we're ending this year with the unemployment rate still under 4% at 3.7%. And inflation essentially at the Fed's target if you look at core PCE over the last 6 months. So what we have seen is essentially, if you go back to what President Biden wrote in the Wall Street Journal in July of 2021, a plan for lowering inflation over time while maintaining a strong labor market, essentially that has come to fruition. And I think it speaks highly of both the combination of fiscal and monetary policy over the last year or so.
And Doug, I mean, obviously, when things look great, it might be time to worry about exactly how we got here and what the implications are for next year. Because even if we're talking about a soft landing, we're probably talking about some kind of a slowdown. Maybe you lose a little bit of that policy support as well.
Well, I think there is still reason to be cautious. Core PCE peaked at 5.6%. We're now at 3.2 year over year. So we're 2/3 of the way to the target. That took 2 years. So we might have another year of disinflation to get back to the target. We're hardly done. And there's a lot in the real economy, I think, to be cautious about. If you look at the big third quarter GDP numbers, inside that, it was all driven by households and government spending. I'm a little concerned about households. We're seeing credit card delinquencies rise. We're seeing saving rate plunge by 2 percentage points over the second half of this year. How much can they carry the economy? I don't know. Business fixed investment, which I'll remind you, led every post-war downturn except the pandemic. So that's the thing to look at. Essentially flat in the third quarter. No sign of a big pickup in the fourth quarter. So I'm cautious about the outlook in the first half of 2024. We're still going to have to fight some inflation. There's not the underlying balance in the economy that you'd like to see.
I guess, though, Doug, the fact that the Fed itself doesn't see it getting to the target of 2% until, I guess, late 2025. I mean, it's, at this point, there's a lot of room in there while we can wait to see if things improve in the right direction, which, of course, is why the market has kind of fast forwarded to looking for rate cuts.
Yeah, I just think that people get ahead of themselves on the timing. There's been an enormous amount of progress on inflation, no question about it. But remember, everything broke our way in 2023. We got a productivity bump that no one saw coming, 2.3%. We had declining energy prices, 6% year over year. We saw some moderation in food inflation. So everything that could go right did. That's not going to happen every year. So I think being cautious about where we land in 2024 is the right stance right now.
And Bharat, I mean, clearly there's dissatisfaction out there with a few things in terms of how the economy is operating. You can't complain about sub 4% unemployment, obviously, but housing affordability is something that hovers over a lot of people. We have this sort of locked up home market at this point with very little turnover. And then, of course, the absolute level of prices is relatively high, and people still kind of anchored to that. So is there any way that things can happen in the coming year that can alter those things?
Yeah, when I look at this, I really look at the three core things that families spent most of their money on: housing, food, and gas. If you look at housing, actually, it's important to make a distinction between the rental market and the home ownership market. In many metro areas, rental prices have been pretty flat or actually declining over the last year. Of course, with interest rates going up, housing affordability, home ownership affordability is a problem. And so I think that's something that the administration should try to address. On grocery prices, they've actually been flat to declining over the last year. So while they went up substantially in the initial stages of the pandemic, in part because of Russia's invasion of the Ukraine and what that did to commodity prices, we've actually seen a lot of steadiness there over the last year. And of course, on gas prices, we're back down under $3 a gallon nationally. So I think when you look at the things that households are spending on regularly, a lot of the salience of those price increases, I would imagine, are declining. And I think that over the next year, you can see a pathway to rates coming down because of Fed cuts, continued progress on gas prices and grocery prices, And as a result, the most salient prices that families are facing are going to be a lot better than they were in 2021 and 2022.